So again, assuming we're going with the logic we discussed, from this diagram, we can see that this is the priority number. Assuming that the MAC address is A, assuming that the MAC address is C, assuming that the MAC address here is B. So basically the bridge ID will be 4096, maybe A. This will be 8192 and maybe B. And this will be 32768, maybe C. And so by default, this is lower than all of them. And this will become the root bridge, which is fine. The second thing that we want to see will be who becomes the root port. So we'll be seeing that logic as well. Who will become our root port? Now, before we see who becomes our root port, we want to look at how they decide who become the root bridge. We know that it's based on the bridge ID and all that, but this is what happens. Initially, everybody within the network will be claiming to be the root bridge because technically, at the beginning, the only person that you know is yourself. And so this guy knows himself. He knows that he is 32768 with a MAC address of 00111. So 111, 12121212. And this guy knows himself. He knows that he has 32768 0001 1234 1234. This guy knows himself 32768 111 and thereabout. So now technically we know who is the root bridge, but this is how it happens. There's something called BPDU. You have to go and find the meaning of BPDU. If I give you every information, you're not learning. So go and find the meaning of BPDU, and that will be a good thing. This starts with a bridge. I'll give you a few of them. Bridge. This starts with unit. This is data. So go and fill in what's left. That's your job. So BPDU is just a message. It's like the way they communicate. So basically, at the beginning, everybody thinks that they are the root bridge because they only know about themselves. So they may be thinking that they have the lowest bridge ID. And so they'll be advertising to their links and saying, hey, I think I'm the root bridge. This guy also be advertising, hey, I think I'm the root bridge. Now, between the devices, whoever is the lowest between them will decide, okay, this guy will realize that, I thought I was the root bridge, but I saw this guy's bridge ID and I think he has a lower one than me. So now this guy knows that he is no more the root bridge. So from that time, when he's communicating to someone else, he will say that, oh, I think I know who the root bridge is. He has a MAC address of this or a bridge ID 32768 and a MAC address which starts 001. And so when this guy receives, he'll be checking whether whoever is claiming to be the root bridge has a lower bridge ID than himself. If yes, then it means that that person is still the root bridge. If no, then it means he has to tell them that, hey, I think I have a better or a lower bridge ID, so I become the leader. It's like the logic is like saying in an election, everybody feels that they have that popularity and they stand a chance of winning the election. But the further we go towards the election, you realize that people will understand that if your popularity, it happens everywhere in the world, if your popularity level is not that high, you throw your weight against someone else and then you campaign for that person or you support that person or you just leave the race. And so technically this is the idea. So if you claim to be the bridge root bridge and then you realize that somebody has a better bridge ID than you can never be the root bridge. And so you have to start advertising that person as your root bridge. And that's how we find our root bridge.